Hi there, welcome back into Strike Fighters 2 RAF, where we're following the career of Flying Officer Reginald Hickenbottom as he flies Meteors with number 54 Squadron here in West Germany. Today's date is now the 23rd of August, 1953, as war rages throughout Central Europe. Good news has come down from on high. The squadron will be rotating back to Britain on the 30th of August. So that means that we have just 2 more missions to get through, basically 1 more week of being forward deployed, and then they're going to rotate us back to our home base, where we will rotate personnel, start training up new pilots, receive new aircraft, all that kind of stuff, and just take some R&R back away from the fighting. So while that's coming up, we do still have a few more missions to run here, so today we will be performing a fighter sweep over Hamburg, destroy any enemy aircraft operating in the vicinity. Call sign will be Anvil, 4 Meteor F-8s, take off at 12:28, and then over the target half an hour later at 1:05 p.m. Let's take a look at the map here. The offensive continues in the south, being held up here at this crossroads again. We've got US forces, British forces attacking these Soviet forces here at the crossroads, trying to continue up to the north and east, while the Hamburg area is still in Soviet hands. However, we do have a counter-attack operation underway. You can see here, coming out of Bremen, UK 4th Infantry is conducting their offensive operation into Hamburg itself, whereas down here you got the UK 5th Infantry operating into Braunschweig. We'll take a swing at that. And yeah, so we got T-54s defending here, 47th Guards, and in the Hamburg area itself, 8th Guards with T-54As as well. So a lot of action here. It seems like maybe we are doing this fighter sweep in support of this operation. So perhaps what that means is we'll be on the lookout, of course, for fighters, but perhaps ground attack aircraft that might be harassing our forces. So we'll see. Pretty long, I mean, not like super long, but fairly long trip up to the northeast today. We'll see in a second. The game has actually equipped us with wing tanks, which I did not know was even an option. So if we take a look at our squadron here, number 54 in Geilenkirchen, we have only 13 aircraft left with a supply of 52%, so our forces are whittling down, so it makes sense that we'll be just rotating out of here. There's 3 other squadrons now at the airport. Got 2 Sabre squadrons and a Vampire squadron. Strength of 16. They must be fairly new. These guys, Sabres are down a little bit, so they've been here for a while too. But it looks like RAF is rotating in new squadrons, and then they're gonna back us off. You know, like I said, in about a week. Looking at the loadout, we're still in our same aircraft here, VZ477 Hotel. And yeah, take a look at this. 100-gallon drop tanks. I guess they've been there the whole time. I don't remember seeing these. I just remember seeing rockets. But shame on me, I guess, for not being more diligent. But this will give us 200 extra gallons in addition to the ventral drop tank. This could get us out and back without fuel being such a factor. So I suppose 2 things have happened. Either I didn't notice this stuff, or they've only just become available. As the date has progressed, it might have unlocked some more capabilities. That does happen in this game. Things only become available after a certain date, whether that's upgrades to aircraft, the markings or the paint scheme changes, or equipment becomes available, new weapons and whatnot. And of course, that simulates the progression of technology. But either way, we have a little bit extra go juice to get us out to the target today for a slightly higher takeoff weight, 17,940 pounds, but we'll be okay. 4 aircraft in Anvil. Of course, we're all loaded the same. And we'll take a look at the roster here. I'm leading Flight Officer Reginald Hickenbottom, up to 23 air-to-air kills over 8 combat missions. My wingman in 2 is going to be Pilot Officer Paddy Connors. He's been with us the whole time, of course. In fact, he's got 15 combat missions with only 1 air-to-ground, though. But he'll be my wingman today. The second element of the flight is going to be Squadron Leader Sammy Wilkinson leading, and his wing, Flying Officer Keith Cook, who at this point, because of the losses up top, is actually the Squadron XO at the moment as well. So, it'll be me and Connors, and then the heads of the squadron are going to be backing us up in the second element. Alright, so that about covers it here. Let's go ahead and get out to the flight line and get underway and get out to Hamburg for this mission. We'll see you out there.
Yellow speaking.
Yellow 1, this is power. 330. Over. You'll clear for takeoff.
Alright, we've got our takeoff clearance. Brakes are off. We'll start advancing the throttle. We cleared out the controls there. You saw me doing that. That's something that I keep forgetting to do on starting a mission. It's just to move the stick around. It centers the stick in the game the first time that you're in a mission. It's good to do it. Otherwise you get some spurious control inputs that are way oversensitive. Yeah, feeling a little bit heavy. On takeoff there. Let's see, there we go. Flaps retracted. We are airborne, coming up to 200. Yeah, you can see on the stick now, see how it looks nice and smooth down in the cockpit. When you first get in, if you don't take the joystick to its extremities, at least on my system here, you get a lot of twitching, and then it slams over real hard, making the plane do some sort of extreme rolls. So now it's much better behaved.
Yellow 1, you are ready to go, sir. This is Cloud Control, stand by.
Alright, coming around to downwind here. Let's climb at 250 knots. We'll just start going up. While the wingmen continue their takeoff rolls, we're going to be climbing to 13,600 feet once again today, just like last time. Much better weather, though. Should be able to spot enemy aircraft with much more ease than last time. So 3 is up. Should be seeing 4 down there. Yep, there's 4. Yeah, so look at the little wing tanks on these guys. That doesn't look bad. Along with the big belly tank. Alright, 4 is up. I'm going to manually switch over to waypoint 3, which is going to be that away. That is northeast. Kind of makes me think we better complete the racetrack and let 3 and 4 actually hook up with us before we just speed away from them. That's 12,000 feet already. Yep, there's 12. I wonder if we say nuts to the 13.6 and just go up to like 20,000, 25,000 feet. A little more economical cruise. We could save some fuel that way, perhaps. That would also ensure that we've got the jump on any enemy aircraft coming into the Hamburg area. There is the city of Geilenkirchen underneath us, just north of the airfield. Thanks to the commenters from the previous episode, by the way, from the previous video, just giving me some help with the German pronunciation of things. I have a lot more experience with the European languages than, say, the Asian languages like Japanese in the Silent Hunter series. Japanese pronunciations just do not make any sense to me whatsoever. With the European languages, I have a lot more hands-on experience singing in the various languages, although most of it is Renaissance time frames, so some of the pronunciations are different. But yeah, I was in a Renaissance choral group for many years, and so we would sing things in German, Renaissance era French. We did Dutch, Spanish, but it's been about 2 or 3 years since I've done that, so I'm a little rusty. Things don't look as familiar to me. I do have to say, when I was in high school, I wanted to take German as my second language, and every time I got to a new school where they would have offered it, I found that the program had just been canceled. So, for example, going into middle school, which would be grade 7 and 8, we got there, and I was very interested. I was like, I really want to learn German. Mostly because of war movies, I won't lie. I wanted to see if what they were saying actually matched what the subtitles said on screen. But it's also just an interesting language, so I was like, oh, I want to learn that. Well, I got to middle school. Nope. Turns out that literally the end of the year before, they had canceled the program for budgetary reasons. So we had French and we had Spanish. And most kids went with Spanish because everyone around said, you know, the rumor around the student body was, oh, Spanish is easier, so take that. It's like, well, everyone's taking Spanish. I don't want to take Spanish. And in a strange leap of logic, I was thinking to myself, well, you know, France is next to Germany, so why don't I take French? Because that's close to taking German. So I did that for 2 years. I'll go to German once I reach high school. They still have it there at that level. Well, then I got to high school, grade 9. Guess what? They had just canceled the German program for budgetary reasons the year before. So they said you can take French or you can take Spanish. So I ended up taking a total of 5 years of French, 2 in middle school, and then the mandatory 3 in high school. And I could not speak French if you asked me to. I can kind of understand it sometimes, and I could say some basic things, but definitely not a language that I'm excited about. So, but like I said, I do have experience speaking it a little bit, singing it a lot more, as well as German. Oh, here's some more interesting nonsense as we are making our way up. I need to be a little bit left here to get on course. So editing the previous episode, I realized that that was the first time that I was editing this series on the new editing program. So for many years, I used a program called Magic's Movie Editor. It's also the recording software that I use by the same company. It's a different program, but that is the Magic's Music Studio. And I've used those now for probably almost 20 years. I think that's the one I randomly found in 2006 when I started recording things, somewhere thereabouts. Well, just a couple years ago, I switched to a much better video editing program, DaVinci Resolve. I realized when I went to go start setting up the project for the previous video that the one prior to that, so that would have been RAF 7, or was still all in the format of the old editing program. So I was like, wow, I've never actually used DaVinci to edit this program, and it definitely changes a lot of things, a lot of technical things. I upscale all my videos to 4K in order to beat a lot of the compression issues that YouTube has. So even though I'm not recording in 4K, I upscale it out of the 1920. That is just in an effort to make things look better, especially when it's dark. YouTube still has a lot of compression problems when your video is dark, so that beats some of that. With the old program, I had to export the video, and then I had a separate encoder program that then I had to upscale with that, and that was not ideal because you start to lose some information doing that. So it's not a perfect upscale. It did what I needed it to do, but now with DaVinci, right from the timeline, when I export it, I can just tell it to upscale right up to 4K. Saves me a whole step and like an hour of like processing time that I don't have to worry about. It just rolls through it right from the program itself, and I think it looks better. It's not like a huge difference, like I said, but it is, I think, noticeable enough that it's real nice. And also, it uses much more modern codecs and all that stuff. So, pretty excited, or pretty exciting, I guess I should say, that was sort of the first time with the new program doing one of the RAF episodes. Not particularly exciting, I guess, but just exciting to me though, as I'm sharing with you the process, a little look behind the curtain. All the wingmen in the formation now. There's 3 and 4 sliding right up to me. At this angle, this plane almost looks like an A6 Intruder, doesn't it? It's sort of got the same profile for just a second. I squinted my eyes for a second, and I thought, oh, that looks like an A6. Of course, not from any other angle.
Okay, all right to next waypoint.
Although this plane has definitely grown on me as sort of ugly duckling as it is. It's not a super pretty aircraft, but it has definitely grown on me since my introduction to it at the beginning of this campaign. It flies really, really well, at least in this game. I don't know how representative that is of the real aircraft, although I have found that a lot of planes in this game are somewhat or fairly close to their real-life counterpart. I guess it depends on who's programming that specific plane, but I mean, this has been a pleasure to fly. I find it to be very maneuverable. And with the 20 millimeters up front, it's got quite the kick to it, which is something that we won't get, for example, in the F-86, or as the British call them, the Sabre. I think the Mark IV Sabre, or Mark VI Sabre. I think there's a couple of different variants. That's an interesting difference between the services as well. How the Americans will have their alphanumeric designation for the aircraft, whereas the British will just call it by its name. And you see that especially in World War II or in the early Cold War period, where they're still importing American aircraft. Instead of the F-4U Corsair, it just becomes the Corsair Mark I or Mark II, you know, and then as each improvement begets a new mark, you've got those slight name changes, but they just go with the name Corsair overall. There's no alphanumeric designation to it. Same thing, I think, with the P-47, right? I think they just called them Thunderbolt Mark I or Mark whatever. Again, here in this time with the Sabre, the F-86 just becomes the Sabre. We start, I guess, seeing some alphanumerics by the Vietnam era. Once the F-4 got exported, that becomes the FGR-2. Obviously, something we'll probably become much more acquainted with later in this campaign, because we will definitely fly Phantoms. That'll be curious to investigate that, why that plane actually started to get some sort of alphanumeric designation in front of it. Alright, we're up at 25,000 feet. We're just trucking along here over the central part of West Germany, heading east. Here's Sammy Wilkinson. He is mentioned by name because he is an ace. Anytime a pilot has over 5 kills, they stop just being denoted by their number. They actually are displayed by their name, and that's not just within the squadron. That's any pilot in the campaign. So if you were actually to scroll through and see, you know, an enemy MiG with an actual pilot's name, then you know that that's a veteran ace pilot. All right, Trout Flight is up. This is a American F-84 squadron with napalm and rockets. So they're on their way to cause some trouble. Looks like they're alone. I don't see an escort flight with them at the moment, although those could still be coming. We're going to actually take a look at the enemy MiGs because we've got some time today. I skip over these a lot because I never want to metagame and give too much away, but did want to check out some of the enemy planes because I was wondering if there was actually some different colored MiG-15s out last time. So here, these are actually Polish MiGs with the red and white box, so they're on their way in. Looks like they've got some kind of strike package on them. I'm not familiar with this ordnance. Sort of a bluish bomb. It could just be a general purpose bomb, or that might be some sort of napalm. And there's the rest of their squad in the high-low pair. LA-15 Fantail. Interesting. Look at these little suckers. These are interesting little planes that you don't see or hear very much about that often. Looks like he's got a big old ventral gas tank on the bottom, just like we do. So here we go on the takeoff roll here, on these spindly little legs. This is a big flight of LA-15s, at least 8. Moving back to NATO side here, Tiger flight. More F-84s, American F-84s. Big general purpose bombs and full rack of rockets. These would be really interesting planes to fly. I would really like to do a U.S. campaign with the F-84s. I mean, I guess, from what I understand, they're a beast to fly, and they're not very maneuverable, but it would be pretty sweet to do some ground attack missions with these bad boys. Oh, look at this. So I was talking about the ace names. Here is a Captain Scott Teague of this F-86 squadron. You can see he's actually got the stars right there on the fuselage. So he's a 5-kill ace. Here's more MiGs. These are Czechoslovakian MiGs. So interesting. On the opposing side today, we have a nice mix of the Eastern Bloc nations. So here are some of the British Sabres in this neat gray-green camouflage pattern that they had. Oh wow, here we go. Here is our first Soviet ace that we've seen. What's he in? Okay, Soviet MiG-15, Major Yevgeny Kostylev.
Okay.
We are just to the south of our initial point here, and we'll have to decide what we want to do. Do we want to stay high on the perch and look for enemy aircraft? That would make the most sense, because that would leave them vulnerable. But we also have these clouds in the way, so do we drop down to maybe get under the cloud cover to make sure that we don't miss those guys? Last time, the enemy MiGs dropped down on us and almost killed one of our guys, so kind of feel like maybe we just stay up here. Let's check in with the ground controllers. They claim that we're clear, even though that's not exactly true. There's definitely enemy aircraft out there. Just keep our eyes peeled here. Let us flight 1 formation. Let's go spread out. Let's spread the guys out just a little bit. I want a little wider squadron. I want a repeat of last mission's performance. We did a really good job of clearing each other's tails and shooting down those MiGs once we were actually engaged in combat. Once they no longer had the element of surprise, we were able to use teamwork to be able to down force of MiGs that was larger than our own. And I don't know for sure, but I kind of have a sneaking suspicion that we might be getting an overwhelming force again. In fact, I'm kind of regretting not just taking 8 aircraft. is I have noticed that in this campaign, in the NATO campaigns, the game does not always assign an appropriate number of aircraft, so if you don't change it, you might be short-handed. No, that might be the case here today, but we're gonna go with what we've got. We're a little short-handed. You can see from the briefing menu, or from the roster menu rather, that a lot of our pilots are very fatigued. Morale is down in a lot of cases, and we've lost half of our squadron to enemy action. So we don't have the numbers to support mission after mission of a full 8, you know, of two flights of planes going out. So we're just gonna have to make do with the 4 on this one to make sure that we can support a final mission in a week. And of course, in real life, those problems would be magnified by a lot more, because we wouldn't just be flying 1 mission a week. It would be 1 mission every day, if not 2. So now you've got to rotate your pilots even more, because everyone's basically working every day. All right. Well, this looks like Hamburg right here in front of us. Let's see, we have Buick flight coming in from the northwest, Trout to the southwest. Lüneburg, the city of Lüneburg just behind us there. Fastberg Airfield is that red one behind us. That is originally a NATO base, which is now red because it's been captured. Here, let's go up to 1200 RPM. Let's keep the speed up a little bit. That way, if somebody is coming for us again, they're gonna have to struggle a little bit more to keep up. This is we're at a really interesting altitude here. You can see the lead aircraft are below the contrail altitude. 3 and 4 are just above it. It's actually giving our position away a little bit. I suppose we could drop down to like 20,000 feet and stay a little more hidden. All right, we're over the city. If enemy planes show up, I have to remember to dump the tanks, because I will forget. I am not used to having drop tanks on this aircraft, and I will start maneuvering with them on, and I will forget that they're on there.
Okay, continuing to the next waypoint.
Alright, so we're just staying high. We're gonna stay fast.
Okay.
We use up the fuel in those wing tanks first.
Yellow tank. Switching target. 5 minutes. Yellow 1. Okay. 2, high.
Alright, ground is telling us we do have bandits, but they are 50 miles away.
3-1.
I bet there's ones closer that they're not seeing now. That would be my guess.
Stay on course. Red 1. Okay. Yellow 1. Enemy fighters. Direct attack. Target 50.
Oh, what's that? Looks like we've got some ground combat to the south here.
30. Tank. Blue leader. Okay.
Looks like enemy T-54s dicing it up with some UK vehicles. Let's head that way. Let's keep on the lookout. There may be enemy aircraft that are going to try to attack those vehicles. Somebody's fighting somewhere.
Coming to sight. Tally ho. Yellow 1.
After 11 o'clock, so they're still out that way.
Fighters. Your 11 o'clock. Target 50. Altitude 05.
Hold on, we're just going to take a dip down, try to see this combat here. Should be right in front of us. Switch that.
Start to head your forward. We've lost another one. He's coming. Anybody? Under attack.
We've got friendly planes moving into the area. I bet it's one of those F-84 squadrons. Oh boy, we're down a little low. We've just picked up some flak, I guess, from these vehicles. Oh, they're down below. Flight 1, attack! Wingman, cover me. Hold on, I just saw this MiG down here. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There he is. Hold on, we're gonna stay on this guy. We'll cover his wing. We'll let him go in and make the kill, perhaps. He's firing. All right, they're getting slow. I'm gonna go up over the top. Don't hit him. Don't hit him. He's still firing. He's swinging back and forth. Man, he is close.
Target destroyed. 2, high. Blue leader. Okay, continuing to the next waypoint.
Come on, guys.
1. Alright. Okay. Start to have your board. We've lost another
Come on, he's straight level. Get him, get him, get him.
Anybody? Under attack.
There we go. That's a hit. He just cut his tail off. Well done.
I'm in the side.
There's the vehicles right there at my 12 o'clock low. Someone just straight through. Who is this? That's another MiG right there. I'm on him.
Stay on course. Red 1.
Let's get those out. Let's
Okay.
a little bit closer. Cut his wing off.
Got there. Target destroyed.
Very good, very good. All right, what else we got here, people?
Perfect. Okay, we're finished here.
All right. So there is, let's see, there's units burning down on the road there.
Okay, it's engaging.
Fire going back and forth across these hedgerows.
Waypoint. Okay.
Lots of smoke down there. Sadly from, I think from some of those aircraft strikes. Now, what happened to... Yeah, Trout Flight is around.
Alright. Yellow tech. Stay on course. Yellow 1. Alright.
What the hell? These
Okay.
guys are right in front of me?
Alright. Enemy fighters.
Alright, Flight 1, engage air. Wingman, attack my target.
0, 3. Okay. Received.
So I tried doing visual targeting for nearest enemies, and this MiG did not show up. But then he did show up when the ground radar reported him, so...
Okay, we're finished here. Let's go home. I'm in the side.
He is right on the treetops here. Is he coming towards me?
3, 1.
No, he's going away.
Enemy fighters.
Okay, we're getting told that there's more nearby, more MiGs nearby.
Okay, we are going home.
This guy might just be trying to escape. Okay, now he's going vertical.
Okay, let's go hunting.
I'm not sure if he's escaping me or just turning around, but we will go well up over the top of him. Corkscrew back down on top. Not gonna make it. Oh, man. Somebody's firing back there. Hopefully that is my guys. That's a meteor. Well done. Yep, he got him. Outstanding.
Received.
Alright guys, get back on my wing. We have to go back up to our
Regrouping.
our area there. Down he goes into that field. So where the hell are we? We gotta go north. Get back up to the site of that ground battle, and then
Stay on course.
stay on the lookout for more aircraft entering the area.
Okay. Okay. Going one.
Bandit, 12 o'clock at 15 miles.
Enemy fighters. 12 o'clock. Target 15. Altitude 05. Heading.
Altitude 05. So they are right down on the deck. They might just be attacking our vehicles there. Okay, there's the city.
Enemy fighters.
Out ahead of us, so they gotta be pretty close.
Enemy fighters.
12 o'clock, 6 miles.
Target 6. Altitude 05. Heading 210. Enemy fighters. 3 o'clock. Target 6. Altitude 45.
Oh, MiG down there. Get him, get him, get him.
Received.
I think he's chasing one of our friendly aircraft.
Hi-ho.
Because one of the Trout aircraft just went by.
Target.
Yeah, what's going on here? Oh no, he's definitely...
Hi-ho.
Yep, he was just shooting. See that big plume of smoke? That's an F-84. Alright. Engage air, wingman attack my target.
Okay. Received. Received.
Send 3 and 4 out to
Okay. We're targeting.
select their own targets. I want 2 to back me up here. We'll concentrate on this guy,
Let's go hunting.
and then we'll move on to the next. Pulling hard through this turn now, coming around behind him.
High.
I want to slow down a bit. We seem to be overshooting again.
25. 3-1. Fine. Okay. Okay. We're finished here. Let's go home.
Alright, come on, 2. Where are you, buddy? Well, we're just gonna try to
I got one.
close up here and take the shot. Yep, we're just gonna do it. Got him.
Coming to sight. Tally ho.
Man, they are seeing lots of people
Coming to sight. Tally ho. Turn.
back up north. I suppose we always do have the option, if we start getting overwhelmed, to call in reinforcements.
1. Fine. Okay.
We may have a reinforcement option.
Good shot. Perfect.
Okay, people are calling bandits. I don't know where they're seeing them. It says, according to the map, friendlies are down to our left here. One of the Anvil flights.
I got one.
Oh, MiG-15 off to my right.
I got one. Coming to sight.
Wingman attack.
Received. Hi-ho. Damn it.
There he is. He's down there. Somebody just got a kill. That MiG was diving in on
Damn it.
one of our guys, though. Looks like he's clear now.
On my way. Hold on.
Still down there's another friendly. Oh shit, I just lost him. Where'd he go?
Blue leader. Okay. Continuing to the next waypoint.
Damn it.
Blue 1. Fine. Okay.
Oh shit, behind me. Going vertical. That might be 2 there. That's a singular meteor going after this
Good show. Keep at it.
MiG here. So let's
Please call for a first.
oh, well done. Alright, rejoin me, buddy. He's not saying anything. Maybe he's just auto-rejoining. Uh-oh. 2 is not saying anything. Did we lose 2? Hey, Flight 1, check in. Oh no, we lost 2 somewhere. I don't even know when that happened. Alright, 3 and 4, rejoin. Let's get our bearings and look for another target here. Damn. Seems quiet around here. You know what I didn't do? What did I say that I needed to do? Drop them tanks. Son of a bitch. Well, I mean, the good news is it honestly did not impede my performance all that much. Not like on some planes where you're just absolutely screwed if you don't dump the bags, as it were. Alright, guys. Interesting. So the nearest MiG apparently is 20 miles away and bugging out. So I guess we have repelled their attacks here. Never got a mission accomplished, though. What's up with that? Did we not shoot down enough of the planes from the specific squadron, perhaps? That'd be pretty lame, because we killed a bunch of MiGs. We've killed MiG-15As and the Bs. 2 different squadrons. There we go. There's the... That's the devastation down there. We got a Hulk on that road. Despite those MiG-15As dropping their bombs... Oh, shit. Who... Oh, that was 2. What in the world? Where the hell was he? Right there. So was he damaged? Hey, Flight 1? Oh no, that was 3 that just went down. What the hell? Who is shooting our guys down? One assault. Target 25. Altitude 10. Heading 120. 4, get back with me.
Okay, I'm right with you.
What the hell? That was Sammy Wilkinson, man. That's the squadron leader. How did he just go down in a fireball from nothing? We need to check our 6. Let's go inverted. That's Hamburg there.
Okay, we are going home.
What the hell is going on here?
Going 1.
Right, 2 of 5. This is still Still, the nearest bad guy, it says, is now 25 miles away.
10, heading 090.
I was going to drag us over the city here, but this is actually not friendly. I forgot that we don't hold the city. Okay, Anvil 4 is behind me. Did 3 have previous damage and the plane just gave out on him? Really not sure. Let us check. Let's see, where's 4? Maybe we just need to clear his tail and make sure there's nobody on him. Yep, there he is. Sky is clear around him. Yep. Just circling each other here. We have a little bit of a Luftberry going. I guess this is a good defensive posture. Trying to figure out what the hell is going on. We are now the only ones around. Friendly aircraft, I mean. And it's the same MiG-15 Beast who just keeps getting further and further away.
10, heading 090.
I don't know, man. I think we're alone. I think we're just gonna have to pack it up and head out of here. You know what? I wonder if 3 got hit by AAA. He seemed nowhere near the city, though. Could there be enemy vehicles on the ground still? I was just looking at the friendly AAA half-tracks. Yes. The nearest ground unit is a KS-19 and it's over next to the river. That's 4 behind me. I think that there's nothing here for us, honestly. It seems like we're not going to get the mission accomplished because the enemy squadron has departed the area and we're not going to catch them. Which kind of sucks. We shot down a bunch of planes just because we didn't shoot down the right planes. We're not going to get full credit for it, I guess. Oh well. We still shot down other planes, and that's what's important. When I run these campaigns, actually any of my campaigns, I like to set the... what the heck is it? It's not difficulty. There's some sort of option on the page that basically tells you how much of a hero you are. So if you set it to high, and it's not difficulty, but it's something else. If you set it to high, you're a big hero and you can single-handedly win the war. The war will go depending on how your missions go. But if you set it to low, which is what I always do, then you are just a cog in the machine, and your mission's success or failure will have very small relevance to the campaign as a whole. So that's what I always go with. Okay, let's buzz our friendly units here. Ooh, we have a lot of hulks. A lot of hulks. Where are the friendly units? Oh, they are off. Friendlies are off to our left in that field there. I see him. Or at least one. There's a brown field there. How's our fuel look? It'll do 120 liters in the two tanks. We won't faff about for much longer. I just want to give these guys a little victory roll here. Just bucking up the civilians, as the pilot said in Battle of Britain. At the very beginning of the movie, although then the guy in the tank said, "Who in the hell is he kidding?" Alright, I am manually switching off waypoint 6. We are, I guess, just gonna fail the mission. Anvil is up to the north. Anvil 4 is up there, yeah, up to the northwest. Alright, well, we're gonna climb back up to cruise altitude here, and we are going to head back home. I am shocked that we lost both of those wingmen. I never even heard number 2 go down, so I don't know when that happened. I don't know if he didn't report or if I just missed it. And then 3, apparently after the action is over, just explodes and falls out of the sky, so very, very strange. Anvil 1, Anvil 4. Let's do one final check with the radar. 6 o'clock, 50 miles. Nope. They are just out of here, so are we. Now, the thing I'm hopeful about... Oh, wait, was that just a... Oh, I thought I saw a plane. I think it's just a smudge on my monitor. Both of our wingmen, I don't know if this is going to count as going down behind enemy lines, but we have all these friendly forces right at the city. So, I mean, we went down on the south side of the river, which would seemingly mean that we're in friendly territory. The British ground troops took care of the Soviet ground units in that battle, so they are definitely victorious. So I don't know how that works in terms of game mechanics. If that means that we have captured the area, or if it has to wait for the mission to end and process before it says that we own the area. If you bail out or eject near friendly units, will they rescue you, or are you just considered in enemy territory? I really don't know. Pull it down to 1,000 RPM. We're at 80 liters in the left and right tanks, which means that we have gone through the 175-gallon ventral tank, and of course we had our drop tanks on. I bet that we went through those. I bet those were empty by the time we were approaching the target. I should have dumped those earlier, and then, wouldn't you know it, I literally said out loud that I need to dump the tanks, and then I didn't dump the tanks. Alright, well, we're just on our way back now. Why don't we take a look around?
Okay, we are going home.
Roger that, 3. We are on our way home, so bingo fuel acknowledged. Alright, so we are now back. Speaking of enemy or friendly territory, we're definitely back over friendly territory here. Let's see. That, I think, is Bremen. To the upper right, and Oldenburg is just north of us. So we are heading towards Hopstein Airfield, or airbase at our 12 o'clock. We still got a ways to go. Fuel is getting low. I'm going to have to pull the power back again. Let's go down to 800 RPM. Suddenly gobbling up fuel by doing a victory roll over our ground forces doesn't seem like such a great idea. We'll just go real easy on the throttle here, and hopefully it won't be a problem. Worst case scenario, we'll just have to land at a friendly airbase and get topped off. Even though that's frowned upon, it's still better than augering in or crash landing in a field, so it won't come to that. We'll definitely set it down somewhere friendly. We're at 25,500 feet, arbitrarily. But just trying to go high to get good fuel efficiency. We're less than 40 liters on the engines now. I think that where is the next airbase after this? So that's Hopstein, or I'm sorry, Hopsten. There's no I in it. Hopsten there. Well, I have to make a decision. Either we go to idle and start descending now and land at one of these airfields, or we see if we can stretch out a glide and try to make it to either home base or one of these other airfields around the capital area. Just to the west of Dusseldorf is a handful of airfields that we might just be able to reach. How about this? I'm going to go until we reach 20 liters of fuel. Pull it back even more. Let's see. What is idle? God, fuel is just dropping down. I mean, it almost feels like we have a fuel leak. It's going down so much. But that's not the case. The engines just must be very, very thirsty when we get to the bottom of the tanks like this. Anyways, we'll just drop it down. Or let it drop down to 20, and then we'll go to idle. Maybe even shut the engines off. We'll do a nice U.S. Air Force Korea move. Shut the engines off for the glide in, and then start them up on final. Well, okay, so the faffing about definitely cost us fuel. But to be fair, we circled many times before that because I was so confused as to why we were losing wingmen for no reason. I was very afraid that there was enemy aircraft in the air shooting us down. That seems to not be the case, which makes it even more bizarre that 3 just fell out of the sky like that. We're going to have to see exactly what took them out, hopefully in the debriefing. Alright, so if we're just over Rhine right now... Yikes. And we are right at the spot where I said that we need to cut it out. Alright, how about this? Flight 1.
Okay, leader.
Return to base.
Okay. Breaking off.
You continue on. I'm gonna drop it either... What is that? Larbuck? Or perhaps Bruggen Airfield? I'll make sure that my air brake isn't... No, air brake is good. That was an early mistake. Just flying along with the air brakes out. Gobbling up fuel that way. Not the case here. Of course, at this point, this early on, no prospect of aerial refueling, at least not that I'm aware of with this aircraft. Alright, wing leveler's off. We're gonna go to idle, and then we're gonna... Ready? Shut down the engines. We're at 0 RPM now. We've got a few sips of fuel left, and we're just going to set up a nice little leisurely descent. And it just gets real quiet. Yeah, see there's an airfield just to our in the bottom left of the screen, but it'll be just off to the right of our path. I think maybe I go for that one. Oh my god, we're under 4,000 feet. Alright. Here, we're gonna do a restart here. Back up to full power. We're just gonna let these things guzzle the last few gallons, or liters, as it were, out of these suckers. Oh, to hell with it. I just want altitude back. And then we're gonna let them go dry, and then we'll dead stick it into this airbase. Alright, actually. You know what I think I just did? I think I got too much altitude. Better to have too much than not enough, though. I'd rather use the air brakes. Than be falling out of the sky on final here. Speaking of which, here come the brakes. Fuel gauges are bottomed out. Oh my god, are we gonna be too fast now? I forgot that the gear drop speed on this thing is under 200 knots. Let's cage the gun sight. Flaps down. Oh my god, now I'm too fast. I'm on short final. Jeez, this is gonna be like the end of Memphis Belle. The gear's gonna be dropping, coming down as we're getting on the runway. Deploy, please. There we go. Whew. Oh boy. How about that? Another happy landing. Alright, flaps up. Let's get on the brakes before we run out of runway. Engines are still running despite the fuel gauges being low out of sight. Brakes in. Canopy open. Alright, well, so here we are. We are safe and sound. We're just at the wrong airbase. More ribbing will ensue. Maybe. I mean, actually, the morale... Oh, I landed against the wind, too, so that doesn't help. Oh, well. Morale's gonna be pretty low, I guess, at the squadron if Samuel Wilkinson doesn't come back. That's gonna be a big problem. So... let me taxi over to the flight line here and beg, borrow, steal some fuel. Get back down to Geilenkirchen. Oh, and there we go. Engines just dropped out on me. Right as we clear the runway. Okay, so I'm just gonna very quietly roll to a stop here. So, yeah, so I'm gonna get back to base. I'll meet back up with you over there, back home for the debriefing. All right, people. Big news here. We're back. We're back at home base, and sort of a confusing debriefing here. A lot going on. So, 54 Squadron perform fighter sweep over Hamburg, destroy any enemy aircraft operating in the vicinity. I stress any because in a flight time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 12 seconds, one primary target was destroyed, but 6 additional enemy aircraft were destroyed. 2 Meteor were lost. However, they rate it as a failure, score of 450. This means, with only 1 primary destroyed, this means that I think our primary targets were a flight of 2 MiGs, and we only shot down 1, so that does not count as a mission success. However, friendly forces have successfully captured Hamburg, so this is huge. So, clearly, our efforts were instrumental in recapturing our friendly city and moving back up into the north, which is outstanding. Now, let's take a look at the roster. This is the first time I'm looking at it. That's me. Oh, Squadron Leader Sammy Wilkinson, MIA. So he is just missing. We don't know where he is. Which is crazy because we just captured the area and we came down right near those friendly units. So he's like still out in the field somewhere, I guess. And then, oh boy, who was the other guy? It was, oh shit, was it Connors? It was Paddy Connors, killed. We still never saw what the hell happened to him. Did he just fly into the ground? That would explain a KIA without bailing out. Oh, so Connors, he's been with us a long time too. Paddy Connors killed, possibly from an aircraft crash. Squadron leader Sammy Wilkinson, our other ace, missing in action. Who knows if he's still in that area? I mean, that is now friendly territory. Ugh, we're up to 25 kills, as I thought. Yeah, so stats. So everybody, oh my god, everybody got a piece of something. If it hadn't been for these guys getting shot down or crashing or whatever the hell happened, we each got 2 kills up here, and Flying Officer Cook got 1. Everybody fired. Connors, I was having him attack every target. I was sending him in first. I feel like I was right on his tail, too. Like, we were looking at him. Maybe that was actually 3 or possibly 4 that we were following, and 2 was off somewhere else. But, yeah, 2 kills. Only fired 88 rounds this time for 2 kills. Pretty good. Wasn't blasting away at the sky this time, but, yeah, 2 to Connors, 2 more for Wilkinson, who was already an ace. And Cook got 1, and basically we just ran out of planes. If that other MiG had stuck around, that MiG-15B, I think, was probably our other target, I guess. Okay, log. So this is the most interesting part of this, because we need to try to figure out what has happened here. So we open up at 13:05. Here is Wilkinson firing at a MiG-15A, destroying it. So that was the first kill of the day. This MiG-15 goes down. I got the next one at 1:06. 2 more MiG-15As in quick succession. So that was 4, all down within just a couple of minutes here. Here's another A down. Here we go. This is disconcerting because I didn't even know this happened. Here's at 13:31, here's a MiG-15 shooting at me. This whole time, this is all firing at me. Meanwhile, Connors is destroying a MiG-15 Beast somewhere. Here's a MiG-15 now firing at Connors instead. So switched off of me. Son of a bitch, here it is. 13:13, so just seconds later, Connors hit by this MiG-15 Beast, shot down near Hamburg. And And that was my number 2. I am honestly shocked that this is 2 different aircraft firing at me this whole time. Here I was chasing MiGs all over the sky. I felt like I never ever had a defensive threat to me, and it turns out that I just couldn't see him, I guess. Here's one getting knocked down. At 13:17, a MiG-15 Beast fires at Squadron Leader Wilkinson, who was literally right next to us, just south of Hamburg. And he's hit right then, and then he's shot down right then at 13:17. And then he fired at Cook, who was right there, and then seemingly disappeared. I was pressing targeting button all over the sky, and I was calling into the radars multiple times, and there was no MiG-15 Beasts in our immediate location. The only one was that one that was flying away from us, and who was already 20 miles away to the south. So I don't know where this guy went. I mean, I flew right towards the smoke plume of Wilkinson, and I never saw a plane. This is like 30 seconds later. He's then shooting at Cook, who was... I don't know, man. I have no idea what happened. This mystery MiG just seemingly came out of nowhere and then vanished as fast as he appeared. Crazy. Wilkinson goes down near Hamburg as well. So, yikes. Really mixed mission then on this one. I feel like we killed 7 airplanes. I mean, probably should get a success rating. So we're getting a little screwed on that end, that because one of the... I'm sorry, 7 actually. One of the 7 aircraft was not the one particular thing that we needed. And then we just lost these 2 meteors to, like, mystery aircraft. On the plus side, we have recaptured Hamburg, and we played a big role in that because we definitely scared off those planes that were... We saw them making ground runs, strafing runs on the UK troops down there on the road. So, we were a big part of this, and I guess, you know, sadly, in the math of war, losing 2 pilots in order to, you know, recapture an entire city, potentially saving thousands of more lives in the process, is actually pretty good math. It just sucks for us. So, that is the end of this mission. We'll have 1 more to go, and then the Meteor campaign will be over, and we'll be... Well, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you. We'll just have to see what happens. Maybe you just get to join me back in Great Britain, and we'll be flying training missions and training up the new pilots. You don't know. We'll have to see then. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.